This thing kind of got away from me, but it's kind of hard to do when you're trying to record at the same time. There we go. I love this helicopter, let me tell you. It's awesome. I mean, I cannot believe it. Anyway, I'm going to get into telling you about both the helicopter, the Blade mCX, and the DX6i controller, which holds up to 10 models. I probably won't have 10 models for a while, and I just don't see anybody sticking 10 planes or helicopters in their car to go flying. So this is really all you're ever going to need. I mean, you know, they have ones that have 30 to 50 models you can program in there, but you know, I just started, so this is new stuff to me. But I sure do love this little Blade helicopter. This thing is fantastic. I will go into more detail in 1 second. Let me shut this off. Alright, my name is Brian Artea, and here we go with a review of the Spectrum DX6i controller along with a Blade mCX. Now let's get to the controller first. When I first got this thing, I thought it was going to be really super easy, but it wasn't as easy as I thought. But after I got into it, it was, because all you have to do is turn this little bar here and either press near the top and spin near the bottom, and you can't miss. So let's turn it on, and you hear that little beep there. I've already got it set up for the Blade CMX. I've got it set in number 5, which goes 1 to 10, so this just happens to be number 5. And I went with the tech from Spectrum. I went through this with him so that I could get it straight in this video, so you don't have to call them. And if you have anything else to add to this, or a video response, all things are welcome. But this is a great helicopter, transmitter. You can hold up to 10 models in here. I'm new to this. I just started in May, and I always wanted to do this ever since I was a little kid. When I was 10, we lived in California, and there was these 3 huge parks back where we lived, and I'd see grown men flying these, you know, remote control airplanes, and I was just amazed by this, you know. And so ever since then, you know, I've always wanted to do it. And well, I'm 45 now, and it took 35 years for that finally to come all the way back around and bite me again. And I really, really love this stuff. Now, it's not the greatest thing in the world having to use a wheelchair for this kind of hobby. I kind of picked a bad hobby for being in a wheelchair, but it's not that bad, you know. I have to go through a little extra stuff here and there, but besides that, everything's alright. But anyway, so yeah, you turn on the controller first, and another thing, I didn't have to set the trim or anything for this helicopter. Right out of the box, I mean, it was just hovering, you know. And then I went ahead and tweaked it. I moved that trim right there, the bottom right trim. I moved it 1 notch to the right because it seemed like it was going a little bit to the left there too much. And it was actually pretty good then, but that even helped a little more. So yeah, you may have to trim just slightly, you know, and you really don't have to trim at all. And if you're, you know, an intermediate or advanced pilot, you know, of course you know what to do. But, you know, I'll never bring more than 10 planes or anything like that to the park, you know, to fly. And you know, so this 10 model DX6i will work for me for, you know, probably a few years to come. And yeah, the guys at I encourage any of you that want to get into this hobby, if you want to get into airplanes or helicopters or whatever, is to join a club. because if you don't, you're going to find out that you just fly these helicopters, or you know, these airplanes especially, and you crash them in 3 seconds, and then you do it again, you crash it again, and the next thing you know, your plane's all busted up, and you paid, you know, $120 to $200 for it, you know, and you got to epoxy glue it all together and start getting used to the smell of that stuff. But I did that. That's what happened to me, and I said, well, gee whiz, I really want to learn this. Most guys say, you know, they fly it, they're like, this is BS, man. You're not, you know, this is easy. It's supposed to come right back to you, and it's not easy. But it's not that hard either. Just give it a little time. Join a club for flying remote control stuff that's nearby you. I happen to live by 3 or 4 different clubs, so I'm very lucky. And living here in Lakewood, Ohio, which is right next to Cleveland, Ohio. And the Rock Hall, and Nancy and Ann Wilson are going to be there on the 23rd of August 2011 here, and I've got seating, so I'm going to get their autographs. And anyway, I just wanted to tell you how wonderful these are. This blade mCX is great for any beginner. I encourage you to get this because it's so easy. I was taking video of it just with the throttle. I mean, that's how good it just hovers. It's great, a great plane. I'm not going to do anything right now because I got my fan on. It's hotter than Satan's, you know what. BALLS, is that kosher? Anyway, yeah, so these are, this DX6i, it cost about $200, and it was a little more than $200, but just about aroundly $209, I believe. And it's great. Holds 10 models. I mean, you know, you're not going to be putting, you don't want to take more than 10 models to a, you know, to your club, you know. But it's really cool. You know, I've got a couple other airplanes, and I need to set those up in here. And I've got the Hellcat F6F, and I also have a Sky Surfer and a Super Cub LP. And I found out the Super Cub LP does not bind with this, but the other 2 planes I have do bind with this. So, you know, you gotta, if you get this controller, make sure that all the planes you buy are bind and flies. That way you can bind it to this transmitter and have a lot of fun. Well, I hope you didn't mind my mumbling and liked it. And if you have any stuff to add to this, or a video, that would be really cool. That's very informative. Please post it, and have a great day. Bye-bye.